Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Orphan Car Garage. My name is John, and I'm located in Massachusetts, and that's in Abington, which is about 30 minutes or so south of Boston. It's a beautiful mid-60s day here, mid-March here in Massachusetts, and long overdue. We have probably one of the coldest winters I can ever recall us having. So today is a perfect day to profile this really cool convertible for you guys. This is an Oldsmobile. This is an Oldsmobile from the year 1975. And it's called a Delta 88 Royale. Royale being the top of the line. This car was kind of a big deal when it was introduced for 1975 because Oldsmobile made a big deal that it was going to be the final Oldsmobile convertible produced. There was a lot of hullabaloo around the mid-1970s about the National Highway Safety Administration outlawing convertibles because they weren't going to pass rollover tests and so forth. So the car companies thought they'd be proactive and start winding down the production of their convertibles. Not only that, but convertibles had kind of lost their favor in American car culture by the 70s with the advent of air conditioning, sunroofs, and things like that proved to be maybe a little bit more practical. So America was actually turning themselves away from convertible purchases by 1975. I think the height of convertible sales in the United States was 1965, and after that it kind of started a slow decline until it hit the 70s. It really started to decline. So not only just the highway safety issues that were maybe pending, which didn't end up coming to fruition, but also lacking sales, I think, created GM to pull the plug on their convertibles. And they made kind of a big deal about this being the final one. Of course, now we know it wasn't the final one. Oldsmobile, of course, reintroduced convertibles along with all the other American car makes in the 1980s. But in 1975, this was going to be it. And people flocked to the showrooms to purchase them and order them. They actually built about 7,100 or so of these in 1975. And you'll say that's not a whole lot. And it's not a whole lot. But when you consider that they only built about 3,100 of these in 1974, it is quite a lot. It almost doubled production for 1975, undoubtedly because people thought they wanted to get one of the last convertibles maybe as a future investment. Because of that, most of these that you find today are very nice examples, low mileage, pristine, original examples, and they will command high price tags, sometimes into the 30,000s. This is not one of those examples, which is going to make it a great entry-level, drivable classic car for somebody. This car is without a doubt in need of some cosmetic restoration, or just drive it the way it is. I will call it cosmetically challenged. Mechanically, the car's all been gone through and it's completely turnkey, very drivable. You could pretty much drive this car anywhere. And it has a brand new black convertible top, which on these cars is a big deal because it's a very expensive job. The convertible top setup on these cars was called a scissor top. General Motors full-size convertibles, all of them, from Cadillac down to Chevrolet, had this top design. And the whole idea of it was that the complete top would sit lowered behind the back seat. It did not infringe here on rear seat passenger room. That was the whole design aspect of the scissor top. It worked, but it was very complicated. It's a little troublesome today. This one's been all taken care of. It's got a brand new top. All the rollers and hinges have been lubricated. Any parts that needed to be replaced on that top have been replaced. You're good to go. That is about a $4,000 upgrade right there. And at the same time, not that I'm going to get into the interior right now, but while I'm thinking of it, the carpet was replaced at the same time. So a lot of the work, a lot of these cars need new tops, and that's already been done for us on this example. But obviously, cosmetically, she's quite challenged. We've got a lot of oxidized, faded paint. I'm thinking a lot of this paint may be original. Oldsmobile called this color crimson red, and when this car was new, it must have been a knockout. But obviously, some issues. And I'll go around quickly. If I miss something, check out my website, orphancargarage.com. You'll see a bunch of pictures of the car there. Anything that I might have possibly missed in this video or any questions that you might have will probably be answered in the photo gallery. If not, go ahead, send me a message and I'll do what I need to do for you. This is not a rust-free car, but it is not a rust bucket. I've seen much, much worse. Every panel has a bit of its issues when it comes to corrosion, but nothing too crazy. Here's your front fender. So we're pretty good overall. A little bit of crust here under the molding, but hardly noticeable, hardly a big deal at all. Then we come across the wheel lip, which is really good. All 4 wheel lips in this car are really good. They're not always the case in these. Then we've got the bottom of the front fender, which has some obvious corrosion. Wheel wells aren't bad. Both on the front wheel wells are not bad. We've got the bottom of the door with a little bit of pop here. Very typical of these cars. Not crazy, but it's there. The rest of the door is in very good condition. And while I'm over here, I'll show you the inside of the doors, which are really clean. Really clean down through here and across the bottom. There's no rust to speak of there at all. So all we've got is that little pop there in the front. Moving on to the quarter panel, we've got some corrosion here at the edge where the molding has lost its connection spot. You can see there's some corrosion. Again, not horrible, but it's definitely there. No doubt about it. The wheel lip on this quarter panel, like on the front, very, very good shape. Usually these are bubbled and rusting. I've had a lot of these cars in here, and this is where they usually tend to go. Not the case on this car. This car escaped that fate. And then we've got some more small corrosion at the bottom of the driver's side quarter panel. There's an old dent here that looks like someone tried to repair and did a subpar job on that. We've got good fillers, unusual to find on these. This piece here in particular at the door, the gas door, is usually almost always gone. They've just completely get disintegrated and missing. Very common to see disappeared, just absolutely trashed. This one's not bad. You can see definite flaws in the paint. You can almost see the factory or primer underneath there. If you are learning body work, you have a friend with a body shop, you want to learn body work, paint work, this would be a great car to learn on. Definitely not a car you want to spend a huge amount of money restoring. For that, I would suggest a better example, but this is going to be a great entry-level turnkey convertible for someone. This right rear quarter panel is probably the worst panel on the car. So we've got some definite corrosion down in here on the passenger side behind the wheel. And then inside you can see some more there. This is probably the worst of it. And again, I've seen worse. A wheel lip, decent, very, very solid and clean here. A little bit more at the front, as you can see there. So both rear quarter panels have their issues. Again, you'll see a lot of that delamination right down to the primer there, and a lot of spaces, so probably the application of a repaint. Some of the paint on this car is original, like the hood, trunk lid. I think the sides have been maybe painted. I don't know. Who knows? But passenger side rear of the passenger side fender, some surface corrosion, but no rot through. And then we've got on the front of the door there some popping through there. Passenger side door, like the driver's door, is in very good condition on the inside, all across the bottom. As far as the undercarriage goes on this car, the frame is rock solid. Really, really good frame. I've got some photos of that on the website. The floor pans in general are very good. The weakest spot on the floors is the driver's side rear pan. So behind the driver's seat, the rear seat pan on the driver's side is extremely soft with some holes. And you'll see that on my website. Some original accessories, wire wheel covers with some very recent radial tires, so there's no issues with tires there. Some sport mirrors that were added by the most recent owner. We're getting inside now. Matching red interior, obviously very original, and obviously an interior that's seen a lot of sun. So we've got some sun burning up here, some deterioration of the vinyl up here. Pretty it up, reupholster it. But again, this is not a car you want to do a full restoration on. You want to do the minimum and enjoy it and get your money back when you sell it. Crank windows. This car is not loaded by any means. Most of these that you'll find are very well equipped. Everything on these cars was a la carte. Not a whole lot was chosen when this one was ordered new. See the headrest there, sunburn. This car has obviously seen a lot of top-down time in the sun. Again, I've seen worse. I've seen people driving worse. Driver's side seat here is the worst. I've got this really cool matching towel. Also adds a little bit of height to the the height challenged people, but really what it's doing is covering the sin underneath, and you can see that looks like it was covered over with some tape at one time and then taken off. So the driver's side seat bottom there is the worst, but nothing that a good towel can't cover. Again, do what you want, drive it as is. That new carpet looks really good. Let me get in it. We do have a factory AM/FM stereo, which is very cool to see. A lot of these cars have had aftermarket radios put in them, and the dashboard's been completely butchered. Not the case. This has been completely untouched. Power top switch here, which works flawlessly. Like I said, a lot of money was recently invested in the top replacement. We've got an aftermarket AM/FM stereo cassette player under there, which does work. Odometer 95,428, which we believe to be original. No reason to believe otherwise. And our Massachusetts title backs that up. We have a heater, but no air conditioning. This car was not equipped with air conditioning from the factory. No tilt wheel, no cruise control. Again, this was sort of the basic Royale, standard equipment only. The only thing I can see that might have been an option is this AM/FM, because that would have come standard with an AM. We didn't even get a clock. I'm going to show you the trunk real quick. Door panels are in decent shape. All the General Motors products from this era have fading in this plastic. Not horrible on this one, but certainly not in like new condition. I'll show you the trunk real quick, then we'll start it up for you. Nice trunk lid. A lot of times the outer edge of this trunk lid is all corroded, and you can see that it's not on this car. Very common to see that it would be with popping up along the edge, and there's nothing. It's a really nice trunk lid with the original jacking instructions. We've got the original boot, which is sort of petrified vinyl at this point. I didn't even attempt to put it on. We've got some extra parts here. The gentleman was planning on painting the car, so he started to collect some parts. These are new window felts, reproduction window felts, those window sweeps there for the bottom of the door glass and quarter panel glass. We've got some body side molding that he purchased because he was going to add the factory's looking molding to the side. You see that quite often on these cars from the factory. We got a brand new all-weather cover. It's still in the box, never touched. That'll be included. And then we have 6 cans of color match spray paint if you want to do your own paint job with some spray cans. Don't laugh, I've seen it done, and I've seen it done pretty well. They called it medium garnet red metallic. That's the match, although I think Oldsmobile called it crimson. We do have 6 cans of that. Trunk, floor, quarter panels in very good condition. You can see there, wheel well. But there is some small area of corrosion on the trunk floor that I want to show you. Again, also photoed on my website, right there. You can see the ground under there and a little bit more over there. That side is in much better condition under the spare tire, and even that's not too bad. I would just give it some quick patching. That side's in really good shape. So again, the fillers are in nice shape. Trunk opening, trunk lid, not bad at all for what it is. You know, if I was 19 years old and I had a budget, I always loved these big full-size GM convertibles when I was a teenager, and I didn't have a lot of money. If I came across this in this price range, I would have been all over it. I would have been happy as punch to own this car when I was 19 years old on a budget. The best thing about this car, on top of it having a new $4,000 convertible top, is the way it runs. It has a 350 under the hood, the tried and true 350 V8, and it runs like an absolute top. Starts up like that every time. Sounds great. No smoke, nothing crazy. Should have hit the hood release cable, and I didn't. All these interior lights are working. The last owner worked very diligently to get all those up and running because none of those worked when he bought the car. The reason why he's selling it is he just picked up a 1972 Cutlass that he wants us to devote his time and money to, so he's letting the Delta go. So we've got a rebuilt carburetor under here. We've got a complete tune-up with wires and plugs, cap and rotor. We've got a new cooling system with an aluminum radiator and a battery. That's just that I can think of off the top of my head. Really nice running V8 under the hood. Obviously power steering and power brakes. That would have been standard equipment on this car. It's just a really good running car. Always starts right up, goes right in gear, no hesitation, no crazy noises, great brakes. Gauges all work. Really can't go wrong on this one. This is a great entry-level convertible for you and 5 of your friends to drive around in all summer. Great daily driver material. In fact, the guy that owned it before us did exactly that. Drove this every day back and forth to work on his 1-hour commute. That says a lot about the mechanical integrity of this car. So there you have it, a 1975 Oldsmobile Delta 88 Royale convertible, an entry-level classic. Car that we were going to say, we're going to call this a 20-footer. You stand 20 feet back, it looks like $1 million. The closer you get, you see her flaws. But all these cars deserve to be loved. They've lasted this long, which is quite incredible. And this car is quite iconic, being the so-called last convertible from Oldsmobile, a now orphaned brand. Orphan Car Garage pricing on this Delta 88 is $9,800. $9,800. You could drive this car home. I can have it shipped to you super easy, probably less money than you think. Give me a call, 508-954-8090. And again, check this car out on my website. We have a full gallery of photos there. I want everybody to know what they're getting. No surprises. You should be happy with your purchase on this car, especially in that price range. Cars that are in much, much better condition than this sell for much, 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 much more money. Not everybody has that kind of money. Give me a call, 508-954-8090, orphancargarage.com. Until the next one, let's hope this weather holds out. We'll see you down the road.